Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because people are losing confidence in the economy, and there's just so much to cover with all this business news you can use. So please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We have a sponsor today, Patriot Gold, and I'll talk about them in a bit. But man, oh man, let's get into something. Normally I cover stories like this at the end, but I want to cover this in the beginning. There was a man that walked into Cafeteria Los Platos, Sevilla in Spain, and he ordered a sandwich. And then upon delivery of the sandwich, he says, "Hey, can I get 3 or 4 mayonnaise packets?" And they said, "Oh, we don't have mayonnaise here." The guy was furious, absolutely furious. So what did he do? Well, he left, and then came back with a gas can. Okay, doused the counter with gas in front of customers and kids and lit the place on fire. Okay, complete psycho. Now, the owner, Antonio Caballero, steps forward and says, "Can you believe this guy did this? What a lunatic." Now, Hellman's, the mayonnaise company, they stepped forward and they said, "Listen, from now on to the future, we got your back." So Hellman's decided to pay for the $11,700 of the damage that this idiot did to the restaurant. Isn't that wild? But they got a million miles out of it on Instagram and different places, Facebook, everything else. And they got international press because they were saying, "Listen, we have your back from the future, so you can always tell people that you have mayonnaise from now on, and Hellman's is going to back you." That's a good thing. Okay, so again, psycho, complete psycho, nut, and decided that he was unhappy. I am telling you, we live in a world where you just don't go, "Really? Oh, I'm so disappointed," and you leave. That's not that world. We live in a world that people can go to the extreme, yelling, screaming, justifying things. I get more videos sent to me about ridiculous people getting pulled over right now and fighting with the cops. "You can't pull me over. I know my rights." Man, give me your license and your registration. You were speeding in a school zone. "You're a liar. You didn't see me speed." And then they end up getting a felony arrest. I'm telling you, 2 dozen in the last week that were sent to me. Civility is dead, guys. Remember that. Remember that. Now, a few things in the economy that are going on that are wild. Here's the thing. We've heard about how expensive the American dream is, and we all know that. It's out of control. But what you have right now is you have a world where people have just given up, and they're so pessimistic when it comes to the economy and with their jobs. And we've talked about how spending is going to be cut between now and the end of the year, and you're going to see major problems that are going to happen between now and January 1st. For the first time in a very, very long time, pre-pandemic, you have real estate markets that have turned into buyers markets. Florida is a perfect example. Dr. Marvin sent me this story about how Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, all these hot markets that were in the Florida area are now buyers markets, and they just have not seen those in 7 years, 8 years, completely upside down. So if you want to go out and you want to, purchase a home, you can do that. But the problem you have in Florida is just the difficulty in getting the insurance and dealing with that. Here in California, there's a real problem with ads on everything, and, got ads here on YouTube. But Netflix, the thing about this is that California just passed a law stating that, wait a second, you can't have a streaming service and have the ads that people didn't pay for. So it's kind of interesting if this will go national, if it's just a loony California thing saying you can't advertise on a platform. So who knew? Who knew? We're seeing, Office Depot. Office Depot right now is one of the only, office supply places. Staples is still open barely. Office Depot is great. Office Max was a company that was swallowed up by Office Depot, and these places do not have the rewards program that they used to have. When I had one business, one thing that we would do is we'd spend a tremendous amount on office supplies, paper and printing and different items that were just needed for the store. They had a rewards program that would literally pay you back. Like each quarter, we would get a refund check from Office Max. And none of these places have this stuff anymore. We get hundreds of dollars back that the company could use to buy other equipment and other items. It was fantastic. We were very loyal to that place. Office Max is a close second, but they don't have that rewards program. Plus, who buys office supplies anymore? Most of this stuff is online, and we have very, very few things that are purchased like that. So it's interesting. So they're going to go private for $584 million is what the number is. And, oh, excuse me, that number way off, $843 million to go private. So kind of fascinating. And the stock will be non-existent, and the company will be owned by one company that won't have to answer to shareholders. So let me know what you think so far. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. Guys, you have to look at gold and silver right now. They have done amazing things. Gold is over $3,700 an ounce for the first time. Experts say it's going to go much higher. Silver is approaching $44 an ounce. I am telling you guys, the best place to buy these metals is Patriot Gold Group. #1 rated for 9 years in a row. Call them and have them answer all your questions, guys. 888-330-1431. Find out, about getting gold in your portfolio, getting silver. Silver is an industrial metal that is going to go through the roof. Experts have said you're going to see days where it's going to go up $2 and then $10, and then the sky's the limit. So even Bob Kudla has told us that silver is one of the best plays for metals. Contact them today, guys. #1 rated for 9 years in a row. Let them answer all your questions. Buying metals is very easy when you deal with a great company like this. They have IRAs, 401ks backed by precious metals, but you deal with people that have worked there, that are basically the owners of the company when you call in. Contact them today, 888-330-1431. Contact Patriot Gold Group today. Now, one thing you have to look at is a changing environment when it comes to business. Laura from Connecticut sent me a great warn notice. And the warn notices are what you send the Department of Labor and basically the mayors of each town telling them, hey, listen, we're going to lay these people off. And this is no longer viable for us to have these employees. And basically in 60 days, they're going to be, on the unemployment line. It is terrible. This is in the solar industry. What they're saying is that solar is not viable right now in Connecticut. So the company is Posigen Developer, and there are 3 cities that are getting dramatically affected by this: Shelton, Danbury, and Westerfield. And they sent this notice to the mayors of each of those cities. Now, this is sad, guys, because you've got, 100 plus people losing their job, and it's just the changing demand. But the problem right now is solar is a problem, guys. There's a lot of people that have ordered solar and spent the money on it, and now they can't get service, you can't get parts. If you have a leak in your house, is Posigen going to survive this? They're trying to effectuate a sale that they say will not exist. So they will not have a sale in the future for the company. So they've tried their assets, they've tried to get rid of, everything that's of value in the company, and they just don't see a future. So this is the problem with solar and wind and different alternative energies that just are not working right now, guys. So let me know what you think. I always love this stuff. And you guys, when you send me stuff that affects like a wide range of people, Dr. Marvin sends me this stuff, Laura sends me this stuff. It's always so good, but this is the future of this. Now, remember 2 years ago when you had those Vegas attacks where they got shut down, they had a cyber attack? Well, it came down to a $200 million crime that was run by a kid, basically a teenager, that went out and went on LinkedIn, and he found somebody in management on LinkedIn and then contacted the IT company for MGM Grand and told him he needed a password reset. Sure, no problem, here you go. So this kid is now being charged with a $200 million crime. Caesar's Palace, they ended up paying for the, their scam. They just wrote the check for this. But this guy undid key cards to the room. He made it so the slot machines wouldn't work that are all online now. He made it so they just got completely shut down and lost, $200 million is the minimum amount. They lost basically almost $1 billion in sales during that time. So crazy, but this was called scattered spider. We talked about this when it happened. Now they finally caught the kid that did it. So I love when they do research and they figure this stuff out, but man, oh man, oh man. I mean, think about how simple that is. If you are in an IT position, you're in a responsibility position, and somebody reaches out, that's the oldest trick in the book. Hey, if you want to reset this, you got to pay us. Okay? That's the other thing is sometimes people will get a small bill. Hey, listen, we haven't gotten your payment yet of $19. What payment? What are you talking about? So they go out and oh gosh, honey, you got to pay that $19 payment. Then when you give an electronic payment, they come in and fleece the place. But asking for credentials via LinkedIn, man, when you ask, what do you do? What department are you in? Well, I'm John Jajanovich. And the guy he had the name of the person that worked there and probably copied his email and looked at emails from the company because it's very good. One thing, I worked for a company that was a solar company. It's kind of ironic. And my manager said, well, one thing you can do is if you get one email, like let's say it's john.smith at We Suck Solar, well, you can then go and make up that name and put david.smith at We Suck Solar and get them to, maybe you'll get the email through. Maybe they'll buy it. Okay? So think about it. It's been going on for a decade and a half. Okay? So let me know what you think so far. Please don't forget we have a private channel called iAllegedly Live. And I want to remind everybody, with me and all your other favorite news guys on YouTube that you follow, please make sure the bell notification is connected. One thing that we are seeing is you're seeing notifications get sent out on new videos 2 and 3 days later than the videos actually come out. This just destroys views. Oh, Dan just dropped a video today and it's 3 days old. Okay? So please make sure, generally I drop videos first thing in the morning, depending on, as long as there's not an emergency or anything like that that's happened over the course of the last month or so. But make sure your bell notifications are on. Make sure you have your subscribe button hit because there's a lot of shenanigans that are happening. It's not just me, it's other people that have reached out to me as well. So take care of that. The pessimism of our economy, people right now don't feel good about the economy, and it's lower than it was in 2024. So it's going in a different direction. And that's not a good thing at all. So I'm telling you, create your own happiness financially, create your own happiness with work, with relationships, with absolutely everything in your life. A couple things to end this video. And, wealthy Americans right now are not buying things the way that they used to. They're cutting back in a huge, huge way when it comes to online shopping. And one thing that's crazy is things that are put in the shopping carts by wealthy Americans are being clicked out. You know what? I really don't need that. Well, that's happening with everybody. Everybody is weighing the decisions of buying anything right now. And it's funny. I have a car that I've driven into the ground, and I really think it's on its last leg right now. So I'm out looking and doing different things to start investigating the car. And I'll buy a used car, and I'll put my money where my mouth is. You're not going to see me driving a Ferrari or a Porsche or anything stupid like that. But anyways, point is that I believe in getting a deal, and everybody should look at that. But wealthy people that are pessimistic, when it comes to the shopping season. Now, final story is this summer when it comes to amusement park, especially the Florida amusement parks. Dr. Marvin sent me a great story that came from the UK, came from the Daily Mail, talking about how bad the economy is when it comes to these amusement parks and why is it so dead? Is it the price? Is it everything? Well, Dr. Marvin's family, this story that he sent me about how, it's, to a week there, when you drive there and they spent over $4,000, is insane, is absolutely insane. So to sit there and to think, why is it so expensive? People don't have $4,000. People don't have, hundreds of dollars a day to go out and go to an amusement park. And again, it's like he said, it's so Disney. Everything is so expensive. You have kids, the kids want to eat at the Disney cafe, and nothing's worse than $24 pancakes that they don't finish. It's just that simple. So, I mean, that's the last story in the video description. But man, oh man, this is what you're seeing. You need to take financial control of your life. You need to make sure your bills are, cut down. You need to have an emergency fund. And, I recently saw somebody say, oh, the myth of an emergency fund, Dan, it's ridiculous. No, you need to have money set aside, because just think about it. My car broke down. Let's say I was a broke guy, and oh my God, what am I going to do? I guess I could go borrow the money on a Visa card and get the car fixed. No, 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 no. I can pay cash for it and write a check, or put it on the debit card. It's no big deal to do that. That's what you need to have, guys. So let me know what you think. Hit the like button. Somebody sent me to Beacon Park today in Irvine. It's a nice little place. They have a treehouse park, but this is in the Great Park, and it's got really wild. It's got a pool, public pool, and stuff that's closed for the season, but just a nice place to walk around and stuff. So, you want to get a hold of me? It's hello@iallegedly.com. Reach out anytime, and I'll see you soon.